Now, 9 months ago, radio journalist and mum of one, Rachael died of breast cancer. She was only 40. She left behind her husband Steve and their 3-year-old son Freddie. Now, as he prepares for his first Father's Day as a single parent, Steve hopes talking about his own grief is going to help others.
Before Rachael died, we had a bit of time, obviously, when I knew, that it was going to happen. So you start to run through, what's it going to be like. Rachael always said, you'll be all right, won't you? Just reassure me that you'll be all right. I don't know that you can actually learn about grief because I think it is so individual to different people. No one knows what your grief's going to feel like. No one can tell you how to feel, how to react when you're allowed to cry, when you're allowed to laugh. It's all down to how you feel on any given day. Grief is part of life. Some days I'll feel it more acutely, and other days, we'll get on with things as normal, or as whatever normal can be. Freddie, he's without doubt my biggest focus, and there've been a few occasions where he, given him a cuddle and said, what's wrong? And he said, I just really miss Mummy. He definitely understands that she's not here anymore, and he understands that I get upset. Rachael always found it hard that he wouldn't have his own memories. We're lucky because we've got so many videos and audio clips and pictures and wonderful memories that we can share with him, and he's going to know exactly who she was. There'll be some stuff he'll ask that I won't know the answer to, or won't be able to explain it anyway in sort of simple enough language for him. But we'll try our best, and we'll just be as honest as possible. Rachael will always be a massive part of our lives. I've seen a counsellor since Rachael died, and I'm sure I will again, and I'm sure there's other things I need to tackle. It's something that I, probably along with a lot of other guys, just never really considered. A lot of it is because I was so focused on helping Rachael, and you sort of neglect yourself a little bit. And since Rachael died, I've had a lot of messages from a lot of guys who either their wives are very ill or their wives have died, and they just want someone to talk to. You just sort of know that other people are going through it, and other people come out the other side as well. I think is really, really, really important. Given the right outlet and are able to open up, it definitely shows that they're willing to. I think it is just about finding the right outlet. I wouldn't like for one second for people to think I've got all the answers. None of us have we? But we just all try and do our best.
Well, Steve joins me now, and grief is part of your life, isn't it? And as you said, some days are better than others, and I guess you even sometimes get those feelings of, if you get a wee fleeting moment of happiness, you feel bad sometimes.
Yeah,
it's
definitely
a strange one, isn't it?
Definitely in the early stages. You think to yourself, probably, I mean, we had a lot of time to kind of think about what it would be like after Rachael died, and I thought I'd be curled up in a ball for 6 weeks just crying and not talking to anyone, but actually, it's not like that. And the day after she died, I had some friends around and we were having a laugh, and we were chatting about Rachael and looking at pictures and things. But you do have those feelings of guilt. You think, should I be feeling this way? Because you get sent all these diagrams and the stages of grief. You'll go through anger and you'll go through this or that and the other. I found it's nothing like that. It's nothing. And you can't say this stage will be followed by this one and then this one and this one. You feel how you feel. And it's just, so important to be okay feeling however it is you feel.
No, that makes sense. There's no timetable, is there? No one size fits all. Everybody's totally different.
And it's not a process either. It's not. There's no beginning, a middle, and end.
No, this is your life now.
A life is going to have grief in it now, and that doesn't mean that you can't, have fun and live a great life. But it's always going to be there.
Oh no, absolutely. And you said, Freddie says to you, "I miss my mum."
Yeah.
And that's absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, you're going to do a great job, I know, making sure that he knows his mum really well. I mean, Rachael wrote a book for him before she died. Yeah. You've got all of these amazing photographs and images. So there is that, but there is, a little boy who misses his mum. Yeah.
I mean, he only understands it on that level. Yeah. He's 4 in September. He doesn't understand the finality of it all. He knows that she's not around, and sometimes he gets upset over it. It could be just over anything, like you can't get, a Lego man's head off or something, and he'll start, getting a bit upset, and I say, what's wrong? And he said, I just miss Mummy.
But I think it's brilliant that you can talk like that with your little boy. Yeah. You can actually have these conversations, and it is a thing that we're not. I mean, I don't think women are particularly good at it either, but men certainly are not good at sharing their feelings and opening up about things like grief. And that's, you said you had counselling and might do again.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I'm really keen to make sure I'm across. I'm not arrogant enough to think that I've got all the answers for either myself or anybody else, and I think using services like counselling are really, really, really important, just to make sure that you're okay. Not just after someone dies, actually, but way back when someone's diagnosed as well. I think if you can get involved in,
it's a good idea.
Counselling and things, because it's hard, because the focus is inevitably on the person who's ill, and you do, you don't want to kind of burden them. If Rachel had known that I was struggling, if I'd have been outwardly showing that, she'd have taken that upon herself, and she had enough to worry about.
Right.
But I think if there's a way that you can get help while it's going on, I think that's really important as well.
Very wise, very wise. And also just talking to, because you went out and met other dads who've been going through the same sort of thing, and just chatting to people who know. You don't have to kind of explain everything to them. They just know.
Yeah, that's so important.
And they'll say, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And that helps. It must do.
It does, because it feels like quite a lonely place. All your immediate friends and family, while, really, really, really supported, don't... really understand what you're going through.
No, we can empathise. Of course we can.
Yeah, why would they understand?
But we don't know.
Yeah.
Because we just don't.
And it's so helpful. There's so many, social media groups and that kind of thing. And I've been contacted, like I said on the film, by quite a number of dads, who are sort of going through the same thing. And when you open up and you talk to these people, you find that actually a lot of the things you're feeling, they're feeling too, and it makes it a lot easier.
And it does help.
It definitely
does
helps.
help.
It really helps. Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, and people. Rachel was just such a powerhouse and such an amazing woman. The book is there, of course, for Freddie and for everyone. Actually, I couldn't recommend it highly enough. The podcast continues.
Yeah, absolutely.
So her legacy, if you like, is still continuing to this day.
Yeah, but we're still getting messages from people who.
Of course.
I had one last night from a lady whose mum died in January, and she said, I wouldn't have got.
Through it all, if it hadn't been for that,
the podcast is so important to people. So
it is. It's people's lifeline.
Even if it helps one person, it's worth doing. So
absolutely,
and it helps a lot more than that. So we'll keep doing it. It's a really great thing.
No, it's brilliant. More power to you. And I know you've been out for us. You've been out talking to other dads, and we're going to see that on Monday.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah. It's going to really help people. Thank you so much.
No problem at all.
As always, you're an amazing guy. Thank you very much indeed. And if you've been affected by grief, there's lots of information on our website. And as I said, on Monday, Steve's going to be back meeting up with other men to find out how they're coping with their grief, and again, how they can help others, which is exactly what Rachael wanted to do.